Searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair, but those eyes so bright.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Shenanigans and welcome back to the Dear Media Studio. For those of you watching, it's been, I don't even know how long, like 3 months. So happy to be back. And this episode is going to be a little different and in the best way possible. I'm so excited to get into this episode because, as you guys have heard, especially the last few episodes, I've really been focusing on alignment this year. Not the new year, new me sort of stuff. You know, it is still the end of the year, but actually getting serious about taking care of my mind, my body, my energy, and just doing that in a way I've literally never done it before. I'm 40. I feel like, and I know you guys hear me say that all the time, but I'm 40. Things change. And I've been getting my physical health together. You know, I did the Prenuvo scan, which was the full head to toe body scan. I did the function health blood work. I've been changing my diet to combat my high cholesterol and working with the new trainer, doing all of the things to get my physical health in order. But it wasn't just physical. You know, I felt like I also really wanted to level up mentally and emotionally. I've talked openly about doing therapy. I've done, CBT. I've done EMDR, which I'm going to get into a little more later in this episode. And just even finding the right medication finally to manage my OCD in a way that supports my life and not the other way around. So I started exploring that next layer of growth, the one that no one really sees. Things like visualization, manifestation, self-belief, energy works, all of the tools that help you actually show up as the version of yourself you're working towards becoming. As we all know, this is kind of a transitional period I'm in my life right now. So I wanted to go deeper into the stuff that rewires your thinking and helps you shift the patterns in real life, not just write goals in a notebook and forget about them. I've tried that before. Brock and I tried to do that at the beginning of the year. Sit down, write your goals. And I'm like, honey, this just it's not hitting for me. That wasn't what was working. I needed to find something else. And a friend of mine mentioned trying activations. And I had no idea what this was. I was not familiar with it. But you guys, life-changing, okay? It's a motivational audio app that helps you shift your energy and mindset fast. Literally, the music that they use, it just raises your vibrations. It's so good. You don't have to sit still. You don't have to meditate. It is different, and we're going to get into the differences about that. But you just press play while you're living your life. I listen while I'm getting my daughter's lunch together in the morning, when I'm driving, when I'm going to sleep. I mean, my morning this morning, I had this jazz one. It was fantastic. But literally, you can do it anytime, anywhere. You just hit play. So because I've been really into manifesting lately, I was like, look, I want to try and get the founder, Mimi Bouchard, on to talk about this more, because I genuinely think this could be a very powerful resource for a lot of you who are also evolving and just kind of in this transitional time. So not only was Mimi generous with her time to be here with us today, she's also giving Shenanigans listeners a big discount and a free 14-day trial to try it. So you can try it at activations.com/goodasgold, but you have to go on the website only because you don't get the discount on the app. So go on the website. We're going to link it in this episode description. But you guys, I am so excited because I have the founder of Activations here with me. And I'm excited not only because she has built something incredibly powerful, but her story is legit proof of what's possible when you decide to actually become the future version of yourself and not just talk about her. So she is an entrepreneur, a podcaster, and the author of Activate Your Future Self, and truly one of the clearest voices in self-transformation today. So after that long-winded intro, please welcome Mimi Bouchard to Shenanigans. How we doing?
Hi, thank you for having me. And I loved that intro.
Yay.
I can tell why your listeners love listening to you because I
Oh.
could just sit here and listen to
Well,
you.
thank you. I've just been sitting listening to you, or not even sitting. I've been active listening to you. But how are you doing? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing really well. I got into LA yesterday for a week full of meetings and different interviews. So I'm feeling really good. I woke up early this morning, staying at a beautiful hotel. They gave me this amazing upgrade.
Love an upgrade.
Yeah, I'm in my future self frequency right now.
I love this. Love it. So where are you based?
I have a home in the Bahamas that I live in, and then
Oh.
I also have a home in London that we spend 4 months a year.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. So you're in from the Bahamas.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say like, oh, welcome to the sunshine, but you live in it. So
I live in it. I am in a perpetual state of trying to put sunscreen on and stay out of the sun.
Yes,
But,
definitely.
yeah.
How long have you been in the Bahamas for?
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you started this in 2021?
Yeah. I actually moved to the Bahamas and then started this business. It was one of those things that came to me, around that time. And it was beginning of COVID. And I had some time to kind of shift gears in my career
Yeah.
a little. I didn't really know that it would become this big, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I did kind of know it would become this big.
Uh-huh.
But it was just a very intuitive flow to launch this business, and I was recording my own activations and producing them and getting
Yeah.
audio for them and music and everything for years before I ever launched the app. So it was just organic.
I love it. So, I mean, you literally help people step into their future self. But before we talk about future, I want to go back into what pulled you into this kind of work and like go into your origin story. I've obviously listened to it, but for the listeners who don't know.
Yeah. So about a decade ago, I was in a very low place in my life. Every single pillar of my life I was lacking in. And in my book, Activate Your Future Self, I talk about the 5 pillars. And that is mental, physical, financial, spiritual, and social.
Mhm.
Every single pillar I was lacking. I didn't feel good in myself. I didn't feel confident. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was really struggling financially. I felt very lost. I didn't have the right friendships and relationships around me. And I didn't
feel you there.
Yeah, seriously, big cleanse in that department. And physically, I didn't love how I looked. I didn't love how I felt in my body. I was 30 pounds heavier. I just felt really,
Wow.
yeah. And I'm 5'1". That's a
I'm
lot
like, you're itty bitty.
And funny enough, I now feel like I live in this, dream body of mine with so much
Yeah.
effortlessness, with no restriction, just pure intuitiveness. And back in the day, if you told me that, I would have said to you, that's crazy. I'm never going to get to that point. I was obsessively thinking about food all day, trying to diet all day. That's a whole topic in itself. But every single pillar in my life transformed because I committed to doing the work on myself.
Mhm.
And what did that work look like? It's complicated because at the beginning, I was just consuming so much information from everywhere, all the experts I could find, all the books I could read. And it made transformation kind of complicated. I was trying to figure out how to change my life because I had reached a
Mhm.
breaking point where I just wanted to start living the life that I was meant for. And I just didn't really know where to start. So I started consuming, a lot of books, a lot of podcasts, a lot of, YouTube seminars, every piece of information from all these set experts. And, it was kind of working, I think, for a year or two there. It was a very slow incremental change. I started to feel a little bit better, but then I would kind of go back to my old habits and ways. And it wasn't until I discovered a very simplified approach to transformation where things started to really change quite quickly.
Mhm.
I'm naturally a very impatient person. I like to find the shortcut. I like
I'm the
things
same way,
quick.
so I feel you.
And I was learning one day, I was reading this heavy book about neuroscience and visualization. And I thought, okay, I want to visualize. I think this is maybe the unlock for me. And I didn't really want to meditate because I always had that on my to-do list for the day, but I'd never get to it. And I also didn't actually understand how meditation was going to help me radically transform my life.
Right.
Because it's good for calming.
It's calming, relaxing,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's amazing if you want to calm your nervous system, like nothing against meditation. I just didn't understand how that was going to help me feel energized, motivated,
Give you that drive.
ambitious.
Yeah.
Like I wanted something to make me feel alive. I wanted to get up and go. So, a few pieces came together, and intuitively in that moment, this was about eight years ago. I was sitting in my 200 square foot studio apartment in London, and I decided to take my phone and record a voice memo to myself. And it was essentially me reading out how it would feel to be my future self, how, a visualization that wasn't just with the mind, but also feeling in the body. And we'll get to that, how that's so important.
Yeah.
And then I listened to it and I was like, okay, this is good, but it needs more. So then I added it to my GarageBand on my computer, and I spent like an hour layering in inspirational music and different frequencies, like cinematic music. And then I listened to it all together and I said, whoa, I feel so different. So I just lent into that, and I just listened to these types of audios. I created dozens of them because I'd get bored of them fast. And I would listen to these audios in everyday moments with my eyes open while I was on my way to one of my jobs, because I worked 4 jobs at the time, while I was, brushing my teeth in the morning, getting ready in the morning, cooking dinner at night. I kind of just listened to this like I listened to a podcast. And not in replacement, just as like a different type of audio that I wanted to listen to in a moment where I was feeling like I needed that aliveness again, that motivation. Anyway, long story short, at the beginning, I told you that I was doing all the things and I was very slowly growing. And if you think about it like a graph, at the beginning, it was very slow incremental changes. And then the bell curve came and it went like this. The moment I started integrating this activations practice, and I created, the audio activations.
Yeah.
And this was the original version that I used to create for myself and spend a lot of time producing, because it's the music component's really big too. So long story short, then it was this bell curve, and then all the good things, started compounding. And then when good starts happening, even more good happens, and you keep leaning into that. And then here I am today. So it's clear to me that this work works. And, obviously we have tens and tens of thousands of success stories with people that actually use the app. But that's my story.
No, I love that already, because it's like your story didn't start perfect. It started real.
Yes.
And you are living proof that this works. So I hope all of you guys listening are going to take away a lot from this episode. I just knew I had to have her on, because listening to your voice just on the app, I was like, we need to do this in person.
Yes.
So it's totally, I love meditating as well, but this will be replacing my meditation on a more daily basis. I'll play like my Calm app or something when I'm getting ready to go to sleep or just trying to wind down, but I don't always want to wind down. I want to, feel alive. I want to have those positive affirmations. And I started my morning with, you have like a jazz music one to start your day.
Do you remember the name of it? I forget.
I could look on my app.
Was it one of the Lucky Girl ones? Because those are very popular at the moment.
Jazzy morning affirmations for getting ready.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, we have like a whole, the affirmations part of the app, which is smaller. And then like the typical activation is more just like guided visualization mixed with this insanely inspiring cinematic music.
Yeah.
That makes you feel like you're the main character in your life.
Exactly.
Because that's how you change, right?
Yeah. We need main character energy.
Yeah. You need to change how you feel about your life. That's the first step to transformation, is feeling different.
Yeah, definitely.
So whatever it is, whether that's listening to an activation or whether that's, putting your phone away and going on a nice long walk and being in nature, whether that's having a beautiful conversation with a friend, like whatever it is that kind of gets you out of this old pattern way of thinking, that's kind of the first step.
Exactly. And when I downloaded the app and I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, where do I start? And so I saw the part where it's like, okay, number 1. I was like, I'm just going to follow the number 1. This is where your journey begins, and listen to each of those prompts, just explaining more of your backstory and how to use the app and everything. And then after that, I was just so excited to get into the activations and all of the things. So I know you said you were just like feeling stuck, like traditional meditation didn't work. And after creating your own audios, What was your, two questions here. What was your like emotional rock bottom moment, and what made you realize like, okay, this needs to be more than just me listening back to them. Like, I want to share this with the world.
So my rock bottom moment, it didn't happen like in the movies where it was just like I woke up one day and that was the day that I decided. It doesn't really happen that way a lot of the time. It's often this incremental build of unhappiness and dis-ease in the body and feeling just unbalanced. And also it is another sign that you're ready to change something in your life is when you get that little voice inside of you that we all have that kind of whispers and says, is this it? Like, is there more for me? Is this my one life? And the more you lean into that little voice and the more that you listen to it and the more that you talk to it and the more that you lean in to that feeling and really come face to face with the fact that if you don't change, this is your life. This is your one life spent, your one precious life, 80 years if you're lucky. You know, you have to be in tune with how short this beautiful one life is. And do you want to spend it doing the things you're doing, feeling the way you're feeling, thinking the thoughts you're thinking, and waiting for one day that will never come if you don't start right now? Right? So it was really this just build of a realization.
Speaking my language, because I am at a point in my life, I'm in a new decade of life now. I'm in the 40s. I say that often because I just like still can't believe it sometimes. But I also just made a huge life-changing, career-changing decision to walk away from a TV show that and a group of people I've been a part of for 12 seasons. And I really thought about it. It was a great offer. And normally I would just follow the paycheck, follow the guaranteed job. It was great for not only myself, but also my husband. And then the week before we were supposed to start filming, we sat down and I was just like, I never listened to my gut. I have really gnarly OCD and I'm constantly questioning my decisions. I want other people to make decisions for me. So if it's the wrong one, I can pass the blame. And I'm really trying to work on all of that with myself. A very scary decision, you know, to walk away from a guaranteed paycheck and job, especially in a time when the entertainment industry isn't just like, oh, there's so much work out there. But I'm following my gut for the first time in my life. So when one of my girlfriends, who we've been doing the harvest moon and doing just manifesting rituals and all of this, when she told me about your app, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so on brand for me. And it couldn't have come at a better time in my life. So I genuinely hope that the listeners right now, I mean, I don't necessarily hope that people are in a place like that in their life, but I hope that if anyone is feeling like you just want more for yourself, you know you're capable of more, I'm telling you, when you start manifesting, like I'm already seeing doors open, meetings get set, and I'm just staying in that mindset. So thank you for this app and for the work that you do, because it is truly life-changing when you take control of your life and you follow your gut and you look at your future self. You see your higher self and you're like, this is who I want to be and this is who I am. I'm just maybe not there yet.
Well, first of all, good for you for listening to your gut. How good does that feel?
It feels really good. And the scary part of it still feels really good because I'm like, I just know this is the right decision. And you said something in, I think it was on the Him and Her podcast, where it's like, you are the people you surround yourself with, like those 5 people. And when I was looking at my life a few months ago, who those 5 are, one of them is no longer in my life. And I felt like, as hard as it is to make decisions, to put up boundaries, because I am not good at that. I'm a person who is a pushover, a people pleaser. And now I'm like, you know what? I need to be better about that. I need to set boundaries and I need to do what's best for me and for my family.
Yes.
And unfortunately, sometimes that is distancing yourself from people.
And you can change all of those things about yourself, by the way, because our personalities, they're not set in stone.
Right.
They're malleable. And I feel similarly to you. In the past, I've struggled with people pleasing. I've also really struggled with, giving, and being taken advantage of, because that's how in the past I have felt like, that's how you get love, is by giving. But we often have to realize that just because we were some way in the past, it doesn't mean that we need to continue being that way.
Exactly.
So you've already taken one big step toward this new you. And it's not even this new you that you've never been. It's the true you, like you were saying. What I always like to say is that this journey of becoming your future self, your best self, your favorite self, whatever you want to call it, it's actually a journey of unbecoming what you're not, shedding all the layers of what you're not, of what you've been taught to be since you were younger that's not actually you. So you're just coming home to yourself. And this first, sign of that is that you listened to that little gut feeling, that intuition saying, you know what, maybe this is not the road for me. And maybe I can also be very abundant in every other way without necessarily it coming from this show. Like I would not be surprised if you make even more money now, since you're focusing more and more on your truth.
Yeah, that will happen because I'm manifesting that.
We're expecting it.
Exactly.
But manifestation, it's not like, of course there are so many people that talk about it in a woo-woo way. I'm not one of those people. All of my work has been rooted in more of a pragmatic side and one foot into the science, but then I also am very spiritual in a way. So it's interesting because a lot of people think of the word manifestation and they're just like, that's bullshit. That's not, like, I don't believe in that, because maybe they saw that movie, The Secret, back in the day that depicts you thinking about a car and then it pops up. Like, it doesn't happen that way. But your life is a mirror, and the mirror is a reflection of you and your thoughts and your energy and what you desire, so it doesn't always reflect back immediately, but it is like a boomerang. When you start to project the right thoughts, self-image, behavior, thoughts, beliefs, energy, it's just a matter of time if you can maintain that, for that to come back to you tenfold. So I know that maybe does sound a little woo, but I can get into all of the science as to how that actually is the truth.
Yeah, I do want to get into the science of it, because that was very interesting when I was listening to you talk about that. So how do activations rewire the brain through neuroplasticity?
Yeah, so essentially one of the most simplified ways for me to describe how this work works so effectively is classical conditioning. So activations, unlike meditation, are designed to be listened to in these everyday moments. As you were saying, we have 17 plus categories on the app: walking, getting ready, anytime, cooking, cleaning, legs up wall. Literally every type of category under the sun. You could listen to them wherever, whenever, and they're really designed to be listened to with your eyes open. We do have a seated category for more of like a meditation-like experience, but that's not really the gist of it. Is that you are living your future now in this moment, while combining these new thoughts and beliefs and energies with these everyday actions that you repeatedly do. So classical conditioning, an example of it is the Pavlov's dog theory. We've all heard of that. Pavlov rings a bell, the dog salivates, associating that, with a new response, right? So we are doing the same thing. We are literally taking advantage of classical conditioning in the most incredible way, because it's like easy, you're just listening to something while doing an everyday activity. So for example, if you are listening to a 3-minute pep talk every time you're waiting outside of daycare to pick up your kid or outside of their school, if you do that every afternoon and you just tell yourself, okay, this is the time that I'm going to listen to my 3-minute pep talk on the activations app, okay, then soon enough, you don't even need the activation to feel magnetic, abundant, confident, aligned. It just becomes who you are and how you feel. You trigger these certain everyday actions with a new feeling. And the thing about activations, and I know you agree with this because you're a listener and you obviously really enjoy the app, is that the music and there's something.
So good.
There is something that my audio team, we have a whole team of engineers, writers, composers, like they're amazing. It's a whole production. They're literally instructed. My team is instructed to make every single activation make you feel alive. Okay, just like the movie moment you feel when you're watching an inspirational film and the main character finally gets what they wanted. That music in the background that's instructing you as the viewer to feel this inspired big way. Like we're putting that music into activations while giving you these guided words of visualization, telling you that your future can be lived right now. You can be her now. And that combination is just out of control. And so that's the first part, is classical conditioning, and you really feel it, and it happens quickly, and you can feel this shift so fast. And that's the magic of it. I was telling you earlier, I like a shortcut. Why do you think I created this? Because I don't want to carve out 20 minutes out of my already insanely busy day to like try to sit down and close my eyes and get frustrated thinking about nothing. No, I want something that gives me that juice of life, that aliveness.
And that's what I love, is there are so many short ones that it's like, if everyone has a few minutes to spare.
Yeah.
You're doing an errand, you're driving, you're sitting in traffic, you are waiting to pick up your kid. Yeah. You have a few minutes. And
it's habit stacking. You're habit stacking it. You don't even need to carve out time. That's what's so great about activations. Just like how people listening right now are probably doing something else and not sitting and listening to a podcast. You're multitasking, and that's good, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Especially as a mom. I know you're so busy, a business owner mom. We have a huge percentage of the women that listen to activations are moms.
Yeah.
And it's because they're busy, and they also really want to feel that spark again. And they're motivated to feel better. And, they're also motivated to be their best selves for their children. So I hire a lot of moms. We have a lot of moms that listen to activations, and it's kind of designed for the busy woman.
Yeah. I absolutely love it. So we're going to take a quick break, and then I want to get into some more like quantum physics and stuff.
Okay.
All right. Are you guys like me and you struggle with trying to figure out what to feed your kid every day, what to send them for lunch, what to make them for dinner, all of the things? Well, if you are like me, let me tell you about Little Spoon, because at my house, the big hit lately is the Chicken Dunkers Lunchers. So Summer basically thinks it's nuggets with dipping sauce, but I love that it's loaded with hidden veggies, and I don't have to peel them, chop, or beg anyone to take a bite. It is a win-win for both of us. Their recipes are made with pediatricians, so they're packed with hidden veggies, and somehow Summer still loves them. I mean, she does love her vegetables, but when you try and hide them in things, sometimes she notices, but with this, she doesn't. Everything is made with real ingredients, no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or dyes. It's the rare combo of convenient and healthy, which we love. It's available in Target. So if you like going out shopping, it's available in Target. But for me, I love having their meals and snacks show up on my doorstep every 2 weeks. Like, yes, please. Little Spoon is the mealtime hack parents can't stop talking about. Try their no prep, nutrient-packed meals and snacks for babies, toddlers, and big kids. Get 50% off your first order at littlespoon.com/goodasgold with code goodasgold at checkout. That's LITTLESPOON.com/goodasgold. And don't forget to use our show's code for 50% off your first order. Okay, so you guys know that I have a very busy, even chaotic at times, lifestyle. I'm between pickup, drop off, constantly just driving Summer to activities. I'm constantly on the go, and like, I love coffee, but I have been trying to find something better. And I did with Everyday Dose. It's a simple but effective alternative that doesn't take even more time out of my day, because here's the problem. I don't have time to do the endless research and buy ingredients to try and enhance my daily coffee routine. So Everyday Dose is my new coffee alternative. It tastes just like coffee. It takes 30 seconds to make. I never run out of the ingredients I need. It is that easy. Everyday Dose, it's coffee plus benefits. They combine high quality coffee with powerful ingredients like lion's mane, which I love. It's lion's mane and chaga, collagen protein, and nootropics to fuel your brain, boost focus, and give you clean, sustained energy all day long. It tastes just like coffee, like I said, but without the downside. No crash, no jitters, just clean, sustained energy. You can get 45% off your first subscription order of 30 servings of Coffee Plus. You'll also receive a starter kit with over $100 in free gifts by going to everydaydose.com/Scheana or entering Scheana at checkout. That's everydaydose.com/Scheana for 45% off your first order. Everyday Dose is also available at your local Target. Okay, so one thing I heard you talk about is like quantum physics. And there was something my husband showed me recently. It was like quantum jumping or I don't know, something. But like, how does that tie in with activations?
Yeah, I don't necessarily, well, I'm no quantum physicist. I can tell you that much.
You're
but-
not?
No, I'm not. But I'm fascinated by all of this in quantum physics. It's all theories, right? So, but what I have recognized, because I'm very open, like my beliefs are very, spread. I'm not tunneled into this one very specific way of thinking. So as I've done my research over the years, I've looked at many different modalities. And the funny thing that I've noticed is that so many of them say the same thing in different words. So for example, you'll think of a, spiritualist. They will say that this work is the law of attraction. It's manifestation. That's why it works. And then you'll talk to someone who's a Christian and they'll say, it is prayer. It's prayer. And then you'll speak to a scientist and they'll say it's quantum physics, or a psychologist will say it's the placebo effect, or an atheist will say it's a placebo effect, right? So basically you have all these different thought energies and they're all saying the same thing in different words. And the same thing is that if you put your intention towards living a certain life, you will achieve it. The like energy attracts like energy on a particle level. Like particles attract like particles. They're magnetized towards each other. We're all made out of that. We're made out of energy and particle and atoms. And imagine that on a very, very microscopic scale, one particle is attracted to another because they have the same frequency. Right. What if we, as human beings, are actually magnetizing certain situations, certain people, certain amounts of money, certain bad things happening to us, whatever it is, good or bad? What if we are vibrating at a certain frequency? What if that is actually attracting more situations aligned with that to us? So that's just a concept here that I'm so interested in. And but to answer your original question about what people talk about quantum jumping, I don't really say it that way, but what I will say is that when you are aligned with a certain frequency, you are connecting yourself to a lifeline with that frequency. In any given moment, you are connecting your physical body, your life, your circumstance. You're magnetizing the life that you are projecting, right? So that is it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy as well. Yeah. If you believe something is going to happen, even just that thought energy of intention, there are so many quantum physics theories that actually study intention. And it's weird because certain particles will behave differently if they've just been observed, or if they have, it's so interesting and so complex. And I'm not smart enough to tell you about quantum physics. But what I will say is that no matter how you want to spin it, this is the truth. Whether you want to say it's the reticular activating system in your brain, whether it's the RAS, we all have one. The reticular activating system, it's a filtration system in our brains that decide what we consciously notice or don't notice. There is so much information around us. We need our RAS because if we didn't have it, our brains would literally explode. But it is programmed based by our thoughts and our beliefs and what we deem as important and what we deem as true. So it's actually fighting against us if we are living in this perpetual state of negative thinking, of thinking that bad things happen to us. Of course, this can't happen to me because I didn't come from enough money, or because I live here, because I'm not pretty enough. Whatever your story is, you're actually going to start seeing proof everywhere to confirm your bias. But the magical thing is, the same thing can happen the other way around. If you start to flood your brain with beliefs that I'm a lucky person, I am destined for a big, beautiful life. It is just my birthright. Like, I am here to live a beautiful, big life. If you tell yourself that and you believe it, which you can, because we
Yep.
all have that little feeling inside of us that we can listen to. We're all destined for great things. I know it.
Yeah.
You know, if you can listen to that and start training your brain by doing things like journaling or listening to an activation or whatever you want to do to get yourself in that state, your RAS is going to reprogram. And you're going
Yeah.
to start noticing opportunities that were always there. You just never saw them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might go to a party and meet someone and think, oh, wow, that person would be a great partner in my business. And then this big opportunity comes from that moment, whatever it is.
You're so right. There was this thing sticking on the science part of it that I just popped in my head. I sent this to my close girlfriends yesterday. It said scientists discovered that close friends' brains can synchronize, bringing telepathy closer to reality. Researchers found that when two close friends talk, laugh, or even sit quietly together, their brain waves start syncing. This phenomenon is called neurosynchronization, and it means your brains literally begin to mirror each other's activity patterns. And it goes into this in more depth. But I'm like, that is crazy that when you think about like who you surround yourself with, and like energy attracts like energy. And then it's like, oh, when you feel like, oh, wait, you're like in my brain. It's like, oh, so this is actually science.
Yeah, I feel like it seems like you're kind of going through a change with people in your life right now.
Totally.
And I think you're going to notice a huge, huge difference once you actually have like settled into this new, you know, community that you're surrounded by, because you literally are an average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with most, whether it's the explanation you just described, or even because as human beings, you know, we want to connect with the people around us. So if someone is, you know, normalizing, let's say like vaping and going out every weekend and doing coke and getting fucked up and not being happy and complaining and gossiping, if that's the norm around you, that's literally going to be you as the product being around that.
Right.
And if your circle, if the people around you are positive and magnetic and happy and motivated and want to live this beautiful life and have done the work on themselves as well, naturally you're going to have to step it up to be in that same frequency, in that same thought energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really cool.
Have you ever done EMDR therapy?
No.
Okay, so that's a type of therapy that I've done. I was wondering if any of this is similar to that, because it is also
describe it to me. I can
rewiring your brain.
Yeah.
So it's eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing.
Okay.
So you are like following this like light bar, and you have these buzzy things in your hand, but you're fixated on a certain thought or something. Like I did one session, for example, on my traumatic birth experience. And I used to not be able to tell my birth story without sobbing and just remembering that feeling. And then I did several EMDR sessions, but it actually did help rewire my brain to where now I can speak about these traumatic events that happened and I'm not sobbing every time. But I feel like with your activations, not necessarily, that's more for like trauma rewiring, but it's similar in the sense where if you are believing something eventually, like you become what you believe.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I feel like that would be a great thing to do for any trauma with activations. Most of our users come to the app to transform an area of their life. It's more like to make more money or get into your dream body or feel happier, feel more confident, create your dream relationship.
Which you did.
Yes, I
Can
did.
we talk about that?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you the crazy story
Yes,
about
I
the day
do.
before I met my husband?
Yes.
Okay. So this, this is just so many things have happened to me in my life that are just too much of a coincidence. And I didn't really put, 2 and 2 together until years later, because I'm just like, come on, like I need more proof. But there have been so many coincidences in my life, and this is one of them. That just really makes me realize, okay, like I've selected this new lifeline and I am in that lifeline now, and things happening that are aligned with that are happening in this moment. So anyways, my husband and I met just over 8 years ago. And by the way, I like to talk about this because I was not my best self when we met. And so many people think that they need to wait till they're their best selves to then go out and date and find their husband. But it doesn't actually have to happen that way. So you just need to be in the energy of wanting to improve your life, I think to meet someone that is on that same playing field that also wants to improve their life. But you don't need to be that ultimate best self in this moment to then find your
Have
husband.
everything fleshed out and like, no, yeah.
You don't. So I met Ben. We got married 3 months ago.
Yes,
which is
congratulations.
crazy. Thank you
Looked
so much.
beautiful.
It was magical. And okay, so remember I told you 8 years ago I was recording my own activations. That was kind of the beginning of like the big changes I started making in my journey. And I decided on October 12th, 2017, to record an activation about, you know, the dream partner I wanted to meet. And I described how he made me feel. I described how we have these beautiful little movie moments, you know, throughout the day. He's very romantic. He's this, that. And as you can tell, I like movie moments from like, my whole life. I'm kind of a helpless romantic.
Yeah.
With both love and romanticizing life as a whole. I just think it makes everything brighter. But so I described him. And then I described certain things that I think really were coincidences. Like he was very tall and brown hair and, you know, physical features. Anyways, so that was October 12th, 2017. On October 13th, 2017, I met him.
Stop.
Yeah.
The next day.
The next day. We've been inseparable since.
That's insane.
Yeah. And that being said, it's not like the past 8 years. The relationship is just perfect and this and that. We have worked on the most incredible relationship, but I will say that I was ready. And I noticed it and I lent into it. And I was the version of me that almost expected it to happen, because this is the energy that you need when you want to manifest something. You need to just expect it and have it already as yours. You actually need to decrease this importance that you put on things. And this is a lesson I've had to relearn over and over again. As much as I know about this work, it's often really easy to kind of go back to the typical, you know, society's way of thinking of like matter to matter, you know? So I've actually learned this lesson again. I was putting too much importance on something that I've been trying to create in my life. And a couple weeks ago, I realized, because all these kind of like, you know, unfavorable things were happening in that department. And I was like, what? Hold on a minute. I'm not practicing what I preach. And the past 2 weeks since I was like, okay, we're going to reset. Yeah. And I stopped putting so much importance on it. And I just started feeling like it already happened in the now. So much has changed with the situation. It's actually crazy. Like reality is malleable.
Wow.
It's really, I don't want to get, you know, too crazy here, but yeah, it really is wild how much control we have over how we live and the reality we get to experience. Yeah. So one of the biggest lessons is you need to decrease importance on your goal, and you need to be in the energy of it having already happened, of it already being yours. It's just yours. The energy of you walking out to your mailbox and taking your mail, the great quantum physicist Vadim Zeland says, you know, and just that energy of taking what's already yours because it's yours and it's inevitable, and not putting too much, you know, pressure or too much importance on it. It's just taking what's yours and going through the life path that you're destined to be going down, right? So, going back to relationships and love, it's like I was obviously in this energy of, because I thought he was too out of my league, honestly, when I met him. And at the time, he definitely was. I think I've kind of balanced now because I've done so much work on myself. But you know, he was like, first of all, like the best looking guy I've ever seen. And, you know, personality wise, the most charming and lovely and caring and, you know, just every single check mark checked. And I remember feeling at the time, like, I don't know why this just feels comfortable to me. In the past, I might have, you know, put too much excess potential and importance onto him. But it's clear that I remember back when we first started dating, I was just like, yeah, this is just how it's going to be. Yeah. So yeah, that's one story.
I love that. One thing you said that really hit me was when your energy shifts, your actions follow.
Yes. So
I love that.
It's not you thinking about it and poof, it happens. That's not the manifestation I teach, nor do I believe in that. But when your self-image, literally, when your self-image starts to align with your future self, and by the way, I say the word future self, but you can be your future self now. It's not something that lives in the future. I am my future self in this moment. I am my best self in this moment. Whatever you want to call it what you want. Some people say favorite self, but I call it future self. And I had to design the self-image of my future self. And I had to become her before anything I wanted came into the material world. So the trick to transformation is you must first become the version of you that has what you want before all the things actually start to manifest into reality. And that is, again, not woo-woo. This is
Right.
self-image psychology,
Yeah.
which is most of the work that I teach is actually based in self-image psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Our self-image can change, you know, our personality can change. And when your self-image is one of someone who is confident, productive, lives a life that they feel proud of, shows up for themselves every day, loves themselves deeply and fully, and you actually feel like that is your self-image, and you train yourself through certain audios or journaling or whatever it is. Activations are very effective at this, to train yourself to be the new self
Mm-hmm.
with this new self-image that is actually very authentic to you. And guess what happens? You're going to effortlessly start showing up like her.
Yeah.
You're going to effortlessly start taking the actions that she takes. You're going to start effortlessly speaking like her, acting like her, dressing like her, communicating like her, whatever it is, because you're her.
Yeah.
And it makes all the hard things that we've put off, that we wait till Monday to restart doing, and when you wait till a Monday to restart a program or a routine, it means that your self-image is not aligned with that version of you. I used to do it all the time, especially with food and body, especially with my business and procrastination. Oh, okay, I messed up. I'll just start. If that is what is happening to you, you need to change your self-image, because you'll never, ever get there if you don't change your self-image.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe I need to do a little wardrobe switch. I know that would make Mark very happy.
Wardrobe switch? What's
Well,
wrong
just
with your
like
wardrobe?
dressing like her. You know, I dress.
You're very LA girl.
I
Is
am,
kind
and
of like this.
I'm
I
a
know. I walked
mom.
in. I'm like, I'm overdressed.
No,
but-
you look beautiful. And I thought about it as I was driving here. I was like, I bet she's going to be dressed like, you know, more business casual, as I'm just like, mom just dropped off a kid at school casual. But I like that you said that, because I think just overall, who my future self, who I see her as, it's not just a mom in sweats, you know, like I do see more. And I love all of this. We're going to take one last break, and then I still have questions for you. We'll be right back. And this podcast is also sponsored by Squarespace. I have used Squarespace in the past, and if you are looking to do something online, Squarespace is exactly what you should use, because it is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. So whether you're just starting out or maybe you're managing an already growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms. Squarespace payments, I want to talk about too, because this is the easiest way to manage your payments in one place with Squarespace. Onboarding, it's fast, it's simple. You get started in just a few clicks and start receiving payments right away. Plus, you give your customers more ways to pay with popular payment methods like Klarna, ACH, direct deposit, Apple Pay, Afterpay in the US, ClearPay in the UK, all of the things that you need. Design intelligence from Squarespace. This is combining 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge AI technology to unlock your strongest creative potential. I mean, the world is becoming AI, so why not lean into it, you know? You can also connect major social and multimedia accounts to your website in a few clicks as icons, direct links, or embedded feeds. So if you are ready for the next steps to your business, you can head to squarespace.com/goodasgold for a free trial. And whenever you're ready to launch, use code GOODASGOLD, because you're going to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Okay, are you guys ready to get into the mood with me? And by mood, look, let me tell you about the online cannabis company that is revolutionizing how we deal with life's challenges, from sleepless nights to stress-filled days, as we know Mama has. Mood.com has created an entire line of functional gummies that target specific health concerns with 100% federally legal THC blends. And here's the best part, they will deliver them discreetly right to your doorstep. You don't even have to leave the house. And you can get 20% off your first order at mood.com with promo code goodasgold. I have tried a bunch of their gummies myself, and it is crazy how different each one feels. Their sleepy time gummies knock me out in about, I don't know, say 15 minutes. No hangovers, no grogginess. I wake up just feeling amazing. Oh, and they have these epic euphoria gummies. Okay, these are perfect for those days when nothing's going right, when you just need to hit the reset button and get out of your crap mood. Mood is for you. And best of all, not only does Mood stand behind everything with an industry-leading 100-day satisfaction guarantee, but as I mentioned, listeners get 20% off their first order with code GOODASGOLD. So head to mood.com, browse their amazing selection of functional gummies, and find the perfect gummy for whatever you're dealing with. And remember to use promo code GOODASGOLD at checkout to save 20% on your first order. Okay, we're back. I was just saying, like, I could literally talk to you forever. And thankfully, because of your app, I can listen to you forever. So for the listeners, can we do a little something extra special?
Yeah, sure. Put me on the spot. No, of
Yeah.
course. I am so happy to give you guys like the biggest discount we've ever offered. Honestly, we wanted to offer a 14-day free trial to new users because we just want you to like taste it. We want you to feel it. We want you to try it out and just feel the shift that you can feel when you listen to visualization audio paired with the most incredible cinematic music. So if your listeners want to try it out for 14 days free and then on top of that get a really big discount, then they can just go to activations.com/goodasgold.
Good as gold, baby.
Good as gold.
Yes. And all of that info will be in the description. So you can just click, sign up on the website, remember. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, your mantra, which I know we kind of talked a little bit earlier, but be her now. That totally blew up. Can you go into more of what that actually means and how someone can connect to a version of themselves that they just can't see yet?
Okay, so before I get into Be Her Now, let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
The 2-step formula to transforming your life is number 1, clarity. You must get crystal clear on the vision of your future self, how it feels to be her physically in your body, not just thinking. How does it feel to be your future self? What is it from like a frequency perspective? How does it feel inside and around you physically, your energy, your mind, your body to be your future self now? Once you get clarity on that, is it abundance that you want? Is it health that you want? Whatever it is, once you feel in your body how it would feel to already have it, then the second next step to transformation is becoming. You must be her now in everyday moments as much as you can. It doesn't need to be perfect. I've never had one perfect day where I've been my future self every second of the day, and I've achieved so much more than I could have ever imagined. So it's not about perfection.
Yeah.
It's just about continuing to train your brain to come back to this feeling, because the more that you do that, the more your self-image will change. The more your self-image changes, the more your actions and your habits will naturally, effortlessly change, the more that you speak differently and the more that you do different things and create a different life, right? So it's this whole compound effect, but really coming back to being her now. If you want to simplify transformation, then just remember those 3 words. If you take anything away, anyone listening right now that feels kind of stuck right now in life, that feels like they need a bit of a reset, that just wants something new, just remember these 3 words and come back to them as much as you can. Remind yourself of them. I used to put them on a Post-it note and put them on my bathroom mirror, my water bottle, or behind my phone case. Be her now. And it simplifies everything. It's like Nike's Just Do It.
Yes.
That's the trick to working
I
out.
love it.
Just do it. Get up and go. It doesn't matter what you do.
Right.
Just move. The same thing is with reprogramming your mind to be the new you. Be her now. When you're in line at the grocery store, when you're doing kid pickup, when you are showering, when you're driving, it's fun to do. Act like you are, an actress, act as if. Be her now. How would it feel to just speak like her? What's your posture like? How does she dress? And make it a fun game for yourself. Because honestly, transformation doesn't have to be heavy and hard.
Right.
It can be light. It can be fun. It can feel good. And why would you not do this? Because it feels good while you are in transit to where you want to go. And it
Right.
also helps you bring it into your life and call it in faster.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer approach.
Yeah. Another thing you said in one of the activations, you said in your gut, you know you were meant for more. And that hit me hard because I feel like that
I think I know what
is-
activation that's from.
Really?
I think because I listened to it
Yeah.
this morning.
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
Become your magnetic future
Oh,
self.
yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, because that's so crazy. There's over 700 activations in the app, and we literally listened to the same one. Well, I don't know when you listened to it.
Yesterday.
I listened to it today, which it's honestly one of my favorites, and it changes my state so quickly. We have this amazing composer, Judah Earl. He creates compositions for some of the top TV and movies. And he created a lot of the music in that track. It's actually a walking activation, become your magnetic future self. But I listened to it this morning when I was getting ready. I was naughty. But
Yeah.
you can listen to them kind of interchangeably. We just have the categories to help guide you. But
Yeah, no, I love that because it is very user friendly. It makes it very easy to just what you want to do for the day. It has all of the categories, you know.
Just press play.
Yeah.
You know, just be here now. Just press
Just
play.
do it. Just press
do
play.
it. Like stop complicating transformation.
Yeah.
I used to be like this. I used to complicate it and think it was this big, hard road I had to get on one day. It's not hard. It's just showing up for yourself in these tiny moments, and it's fun to do. You know, it feels good to feel good.
Yeah.
It feels so good to feel good.
And I'm a person who's always struggled with perfection my whole life. Like everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And now that I'm a mom, I mean, I realize more than ever that's not realistic, you know, because life still happens. And I like that, you know, the whole staying in alignment isn't about being perfect. As we were talking about perfection earlier, that was another thing that I really just hit close to home because I always want everything done the right way. I want to be on time. I want things perfect. And I'm a mom and I have a 4.5-year-old. And today she woke up congested. I'm like getting ready to get all of the stuff ready for school. And she was like, Mom, I can't breathe out of my nose. And I was like, my husband's out of town for work for the week. And so I called my mom and I was like, I have a podcast. I can't bring a sick kid and I'm not taking her to school. So it's like, you know, my morning wasn't perfect. Life happens, but we figure it out. And there's so many things you guys can take from this. I genuinely hope that you take the time, 14 days for free, try it out because you're not going to want to cancel it after 14 days. I know that. I mean, I've had meditation apps on my phone for years, but since learning about yours, like genuinely it replaces those.
Yeah. And I think with activations, a lot of our users say that it's like the only app on their phone that makes them feel good. We live in a state where we're constantly checking Instagram, we're plugged in,
Doesn't
social
make me feel
media.
good.
It doesn't make anyone feel good. And it's nice to have something on your phone that actually makes you feel good. But yeah, I think, you know, the reason why so many people use this app so regularly, we actually have like, I think it's 30% of people that even have the app use it every single day, but it has very high usage rates. And it's because it's not hard to do. It's not like you need to carve out time. You can just habit stack it. And this kind of goes with any practice that you want to integrate into your life. Like how can you, whoever is listening that wants to feel healthier, happier, who wants to, you know, procrastinate less and be their best self, like what are these little things that you can just add into your day that don't mean revolutionizing everything and changing everything? You know, so for me, it's like, okay, habit stacking. You know, I like to put a scoop of collagen in my morning coffee so I get a bit of protein so I'm not feeling crappy and jittery.
Right.
Maybe it's listening to an activation while you're driving your kids to school because kids, you know, it's good to prime their minds as well to feel like their best selves.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether it is doing a bit of gua sha when you're in the shower because you always forget to do it, you know, just having these
Always
little,
forget to do that.
always. How many gua shas do we own that we just don't use?
Yeah.
But I've actually started like in the shower just to do it on my neck and my traps a little bit and my face just while I let my conditioner sit. It's how can we add these tiny little things into our days that actually make a huge difference?
Right.
We need to remember transformation doesn't happen in this one big moment one day. It happens in these tiny little moments every day. So how can we be her now? How can we do something good for ourselves so that we can show up better for ourselves, for children, for our partner, and start actually enjoying this one life?
Yeah.
Right?
Literally. You say growth isn't about perfection. It's about the bounce back rate. Can you explain that a little more?
This is good for someone like you or
Yeah.
because I'm also a recovering perfectionist. And
I like that. I'm a
yeah.
recovering perfectionist.
Yeah, so we can't say I am a perfectionist because that's the old self-image.
Correct.
But so this is boot camp here.
There we go.
So the old self-image. But I think also perfectionism comes from this feeling of just needing control and not trusting yourself and not trusting that everything is going to unfold exactly how it's designed to.
Yeah.
You know? So I think we need to lean into that a little bit more. It's like, we're going to be okay. Everything's going to be perfect. We just need to stop waiting to live, right? But going to the bounce back rate, it's a term that I kind of came up with years ago. And it's essentially, it essentially means that perfection is not the goal. It's not the goalpost that we should all aim for. It's actually a quick bounce back rate, because perfection doesn't exist as much as we want to think that there is this perfect thing, perfect reality, perfect day, perfect situation. We're human beings living this life. Perfection doesn't exist. Even the most beautiful, wealthiest, happiest looking people on the cover of glossy magazines, not one of them have ever had even one perfect day. And I can promise you that. I have met a lot of people that, you know, like are the most like super, like they are not perfect. We put them on a pedestal for some reason, but they are, no one's ever had one perfect day where they wake up at 5 a.m. and they eat organic. They don't procrastinate. They don't think one negative thought. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So why is that the goalpost? The goalpost should be a quick bounce back rate. It is all about how quickly you can get up and get off, you know, the couch and get back to the person that you want to be. So whether that's the example of, you know, eating a cookie, you know, you don't need to eat the whole box. You don't need to binge out of self guilt and shame. Okay. You can just, that's okay. The next meal I'll have, like, no big deal. Eating a cookie is good. It's good for us sometimes, you know, good for our soul. Then maybe, and if you're trying to be healthy, maybe your next meal is like salmon and veggies or whatever it is. The same thing goes with if you've noticed you've been on your phone mindlessly scrolling for an hour. Okay. You don't need to hate yourself and feel guilt. How about you put your phone down and just bounce back? Get back to whatever you need to do. You know, just lighten up. I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned as well as a recovering perfectionist is like, stop making such a big deal about when things don't go exactly as you want them to. Just flow through life.
Yeah.
And more comes your way when you flow and you don't hold on.
Facts. I learned that, so I've been married twice now.
Yeah.
And when the second wedding came around, I was just like, you know what? Everything at my first, so many things at my first wedding went wrong. And when the second one came around, I was like, you know what? If anything goes wrong, it's okay. It's part of our story and it doesn't matter. You know, things don't have to be perfect. That was a few years ago, and it's easy to slip back into something like that. So what do you personally do when you slip into old patterns?
I remember that I want to feel good.
Yeah.
When you think about the big material goals, that's not deeply motivating. You have to think about the truth, and the truth is, why am I here? I'm here to live the most fulfilled life possible, to feel like I am my best self possible, helping as many people as I can, showing up in the way that I want to show up. And the first thing I'll do when I'm feeling off track is have that realization, bounce back. And then one of the first actions that I take is actually like turning my phone off or deleting social media apps off my phone for a few days.
I've done that before.
It's life-changing.
Yes.
I actually went 8 months off social media last year.
Yeah. And people didn't know because my sister was still posting and everything for me. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the biggest game changers for my happiness levels, because we are all incredibly addicted to technology, but it's not really our fault, because these big tech media giants have thousands of staff members, of employees that their sole job is to like make it more addictive. So it's like, come on, we're up against thousands of staff members trying to like A/B test ways to make it more addictive and sticky. So it's just, you have to kind of delete it sometimes to just reset your dopamine levels. And I always say that, you know, there are two big feelings that I've noticed in life. It's like you're either feeling numb or you're feeling alive. You can never feel both at the same time. And numbness comes from mindlessly scrolling, binge watching too much TV, overeating, drinking, drugs, anything that really numbs you. And that makes time go by very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
That makes you feel like crap. That makes you feel like crap even after you're done that numbing activity. And it just puts you in this state of like zombie-like, just like fuzziness. And then the activities that make you feel alive, that's stuff like having a beautiful, deep conversation with a friend, like cooking while listening to beautiful music and just romanticizing your life, listening to an activation on a trail walk, like whatever those little moments are, taking care of yourself and spending time on your own growth, journaling, reading, like doing these activities that make us feel really good.
Mm-hmm.
And that aliveness makes time go by slower.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone's telling me these days, oh my gosh, time's going by too quickly. I'm like, not in my reality anymore. Actually, I used to feel that way, but I don't want that kind of life. And I want things to go by slowly. And I want to feel alive and good. So you have to do less numbing activities and more aliveness activities. That's what I've realized. Yeah.
Yeah. How can someone reset fast after a spiral?
So the first is acknowledgement. And then it's lightening up, like really not making too big of a deal about it. You fell off track, just get back on, be her now. And then doing something, whether it's playing an activation, whether it's putting your phone on do not disturb or actually deleting the apps, whether it's calling a friend just to like stop the cycle.
Yes.
Because you just have to stop it no matter how. But you also need to remember that it's not that hard to stop it. I think a lot of us say it's so hard to change to feel better. Why are you telling yourself that? That's not the reality you want. You want it to be pretty effortless to change how you feel. So it is effortless and easy when you tell yourself it is. It's this catch-22, right? So it's really not that hard. Snap out of it. Be your own little, motivational speaker and give yourself a pep talk saying, hey, it's not that big of a deal. Lighten up. Let's just get up and go.
Yeah. I'm a voice note venter. So I'll like go to my girls chat and I'm like, but then I get nothing but positivity back. And it's like instant where that mindset switches for me. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. We are badasses. Like we got this.
Totally.
Yeah. I love that. So what would you say is your favorite or the best activation to start the day?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm kind of weird where I get like hyper fixated on whether it's even like a certain food, a certain song, a certain activation. Even though we release like 3 to 5 new activations every week, I kind of go to my OGs and then like every month or so I'll change them and then sometimes I'll go back to them. So the one I listened to this morning, Become Your Magnetic Future Self, that there's something about it that just triggers me in the best way possible.
Yeah,
like
I want to
it
listen
really
to that again too.
It just like activates me. That's what they're activations. They activate you. And so I go through phases. A couple weeks ago, it was embody magnetic manifestation energy. I like the more broad ones. We also have very specific and pragmatic ones like set goals for your day, like get out of a sticky situation quickly kind of thing, or confidence before a first date. We have like so many specific ones, but I kind of like the more manifestation broad ones. Yeah. I'm obsessed with the money ones. We have a category called targeted visualizations, and we have these very specific money number ones from manifest $1,000 all the way up to like millions and millions and everything in between. And those ones I remember crafting with my team, and we put so much time and effort into them. Like, this is the only time I'm a perfectionist, by the way. Yeah. It's when we're like creating these activations. I'm like, okay, I text my audio engineer, when this drop of this part of the song happens at 9 minutes, 52 seconds, 0.8, you need to put this word with this drop of the song for that impact. You know what I mean? And so that's like, I think our targeted visualization category, especially the money manifestation ones, that's my go-to.
I love that. Why do certain activations say, like sitting, some are walking, some are legs up wall? Is there just like something with the brain that when you're doing this, listening to this specific activation, that it kind of like rewires you?
So you can listen to any activation interchangeably with whatever you're doing. Obviously, with some of the walking ones, the words might say, oh, like while you're walking, but not that much, to be honest with you. So there's not too many like instructions. It's really just listen to it with whatever you're doing. The categories are there just to guide you.
Mm-hmm.
So no, you can listen to them in whatever way you want, but
Yeah.
that's just essentially to help because we have so much content.
Yeah.
Just to help you a little.
Okay. I was multitasking last night. I had my bandmates over. They were working on a new song, but I had my headphones on and I was listening to you.
Nice.
And I was making notes for today and all of
Amazing.
that. And I was like, oh, this wasn't a sitting one, but it's okay. I'm going to go for my walk tomorrow and do a walking one.
Yeah.
And I
Exactly.
had my jazzy morning. It
yes.
it set the day. My daughter was listening to it with me too.
So sweet.
We just like cuddled in bed and had it playing. And she was just like, oh, it was the best.
I love
Those are
that.
my favorite mornings.
It really are like kids really absorb everything that we
Yes.
do, that we listen to.
No, literally. She loves to do yoga with me. She gets
What a
so
sweetheart.
excited about it.
What a
The other
sweet-
night, I was saying I needed to do like a heavy lifting workout. And she's
Mhm.
like, oh, I thought we were going to do yoga. And I was looking forward to that. And I was like, then we are doing yoga. I'm
What
not
a
gonna.
pure little
It-
soul.
so sweet. She's 4.5 and she loves doing yoga. And so I'm like, I want to set the best example for her. I want her to grow up with a mom who puts her mental, physical, emotional health, just as front and center as a very important thing for every day, because I love that she sees me making myself my best version.
She probably looks up to you so much. You have no idea.
I hope so.
So sweet.
I love it. And I love that all of this fits into real life. You don't need a meditation room to change your mindset.
Yeah.
You can do this wherever, whenever. So I wanted to thank you again for being here and do a little fun rapid fire before
Okay,
we
let's
wrap
go.
things up.
Great.
Okay. Coffee or matcha?
Coffee. I'm trying to get into matcha. I just don't like it.
Well, if you or any of my listeners are in Orange County anytime soon, Costa Mesa, we just opened up a coffee. It's a cafe.
Oh my gosh.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like full restaurant. But
You opened it?
it's my brother-in-law's. My
Wow.
sister and I invested in it. It's
That's
called
incredible.
Salty Horse.
Okay.
And it's the first thing I've ever invested in.
Amazing.
And we're already making our money back.
Holy
like it's
crap.
doing so well.
I'm so
but it
happy
is-
for you.
Thank you. The best matcha I've ever had in my
Okay,
life.
well, I'll have to try. I just probably haven't been making it right.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. It's like my sister is a matcha snob. So she's
Okay.
like, we're not opening up this place without anything but the best
Yeah.
matcha. So the matcha is perfection. That's one thing.
Okay.
What's your favorite activation of all time?
Oh my gosh, this is such a hard question.
So many options.
It's like choosing a favorite child. You know what? Just because I've said the same one all episode.
Yeah.
My favorite today, what does Kris Jenner say? It's like my favorite child right now.
Right.
Is
yes.
like, so my favorite activation right now is become your magnetic future self walking activation.
Yes. Love it. What's a song that shifts your energy instantly?
Ooh, okay. If I'm gonna be really honest
Yes.
here, I like don't listen to new music. If I want to get amped up, like before the gym or something, I'll listen to like Hannah Montana.
I love that you said that because that has been a regular listening
I'll-
in my household lately.
I'll listen to like Hilary Duff, like Michelle Branch, like or
Yes.
like miracles happen, dancing. Like that those old like 2000s like girly movies.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing.
Yeah.
At our wedding, I was like, Ben, we need to have. Do you know that song "Us Against the World" by Play? Like, I don't know if that was. It's niche. Some people
I
listening
think
might
I
know it.
do. It sounds familiar.
It was in the Mary-Kate and Ashley movie. Back,
Okay, then
anyway,
I
like that
definitely
kind of
know it then
thing.
if it was in that.
At our wedding, I was like, we have to play this. Like,
Yeah.
So
Wait.
yeah, I own how lame some things I like are, and that's me owning it.
I love that. And it's so funny. I think it was maybe, I might have even been pregnant, but I remember years ago, I was driving between Palm Springs and San Diego, and I was just in a funk of a mindset.
Mm.
And, you're not supposed to be on your phone while driving, but I was that day. And I did a video of me rocking out to Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Because I was like, every time I listen to Hannah
Yeah.
Montana, it just puts me in a good mood. And now my
Ugh.
daughter's into Hannah Montana, and I
Yeah.
love it because I get to
It's so
rewatch
good.
it with her.
It's so good.
So
Like,
good. So of all of the songs or people you could say, it's just so funny because that's been on our
That's crazy.
regular listening
I
right
actually
now.
saw a video online the other day, and it was like, Imagine hating me and I'm just here listening to like 1 in a Million by Hannah
Yes.
Montana. Like imagine
Nobody's
hating.
perfect.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to listen to that one.
Yes.
Nobody's perfect.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But if you actually listen to the lyrics, like they're quite soulful.
They are. Literally. I'm like, this is a teenager singing this.
I know.
But
She was like 15
I
on stage. I'm
know.
like, wow.
yeah.
Anyway.
Incredible.
Yeah.
What is something you changed your mind about in life?
Ooh, that is such a good question. I had to change my mind back in the day about how much I actually control the circumstances that come about. And it's funny because I always say you are 100% responsible for your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a core principle of mine. It's a core principle in my book and all my teachings. But then yet at the same time, I believe that you need to be so strict on where you want to end up. But then you have to be so unstrict about how you get there.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be so flowy about the how and the when, but so just intentional and committed to the end result.
Yeah.
And I mean, the end result for me is just continuing to live in this beautiful, abundant, happy, joyful, healthy place. And it's not necessarily like a strict, rigid vision of like, I have to have this house on this road. It's not that. It's a feeling. So whatever aligns with that feeling, I know I'm going to have.
Yeah.
The how or the when is less up to me. And I'm okay with that because I actually want awe and wonder in life. I want to be surprised. I want to live and you know, live this journey where I'm like pleasantly surprised about how things turn out. So I think it's when I stopped acting like a victim and started taking responsibility for my life.
Amazing. There's also a Hannah Montana lyric that popped in my head. You can change your mind and you can change your clothes.
That's the way
she
goes.
was just,
I love her.
Yeah, the best. Last question. What is one thing you want every woman listening to believe?
Oh my gosh. Okay. There's a big theme on confidence these days. I've been talking to friends about this. I've been reading a lot of the user stories that we have because every single day we have like dozens of incredible stories our users send in. And on Slack, I have like my customer support team, my social team send it in. It's just like there's been a theme about confidence lately. And I really feel like if everyone, because women, we deal with insecurity a lot.
Yeah.
And we need to remember that insecurity comes from putting too much importance on things that we actually shouldn't put importance on. Like, why do we care if that person thinks like, this thing about me?
Right.
They're so consumed with themselves. The number one thing that will give you that magnetic confidence is just loving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. So I think everyone listening, the biggest takeaway, obviously, all the stuff we spoke about in this episode, the Be Her Now, that's so important. But really, the more you love yourself, the more you're going to create the life of your dreams, the happier you'll be. Stop trying to be someone different. Just be the most you possible, and you will get there. The more you just lean into being the most you, unapologetically you, and the more you can work on this magnetism, you're going to change how people see you. You're going to change the opportunities given to you, and you're going to be so much more pleasantly surprised with your life. It's just so much better living this way.
Yeah. Well, I'm just so glad. Like, you could not have come into town at a better time in my life when I've just started this whole self-transformation. And thank you so much for being here. Like, I knew this episode would be powerful. I'm just so excited we were able to align. The stars aligned.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited for you. I feel like you're in such a pivotal point in your life, and it's exciting and fresh, and I'm just so excited for you.
I want to do this again in like a year
Yeah.
and touch base with where we're both at.
Totally.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, if you guys want to try activations, just go to activations.com/goodasgold. That link is going to get you a big discount plus a free 14-day trial. And there's a money back guarantee if you don't vibe with it. But trust me, you're going to vibe with it because the vibrations are 5-star. So just make sure, again, I mentioned this, sign up through the website, not the app store. And again, it's activations.com/goodasgold. And the link is in the episode description. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you guys
having
all
me.
for listening.
Thank you.
For this all my